Yes. Yes, good evening, friends, and a very, very warm welcome once again on behalf of Navemarg Foundation to this special event titled The Magical Parents. In fact, Navemarg Foundation every year on the 8th of September celebrates Mother's Day in commemoration of the birth anniversary of Mother Mary. And as a special occasion on Mother's Day, we used to celebrate this for the last almost 8 years we have been doing it, wherein we recognize that mothers are basically the best teachers. And following the Teachers' Day program, which we did on the 5th of September, and the terrific response and feedback which we got from all the participants, all the teachers who were present on that day, it was really a motivational factor that we decided that we have to do it in a big way today, as far as the parents also are concerned, because magical parenting is a very, very important topic for us to sit with, that the children come up in life with the best of talents possible. And today, I must say, we are very, very fortunate to have Satish amongst us once again. He has done a very good presentation as far as the magical teacher is concerned on the 5th of September. And definitely, most of us are looking forward to listen to him. Whoever has participated last time is definitely attending today. And I'm quite sure from his presentation, you will learn something new with regards to the magical parenting formula. He will definitely give us some formulas wherein you can bring out the best within your child. Secondly, as 8th September, we celebrate the World Literacy Day. We at Navemarg always feel that financial literacy is one part of the literacy program which is missing in most of the colleges as well as school children in the curriculum. And we are very fortunate that through Navemarg Foundation, we have managed to introduce financial literacy in quite a lot of colleges. We have introduced this financial literacy internship program. And we are very fortunate that we have more than 800 college students investing with us and with the aim to be millionaires before the age of 25. In fact, it is not difficult to grow rich in India, provided you know what the rich follow. Once you follow the rules that the rich follow, and we have been putting it in the form of stories. And these stories have been very, very effective because we have seen it. It is coming on the radio. It is coming in the form of books and coming in the form of blogs. We have been doing a lot of programs in this. And our financial literacy mission is basically to make Goa as the most financially literate state so that all our youngsters, they understand that actually growing rich is not difficult in Goa, or I should say in India, especially for a country which is growing at the fastest growing economy. When even now during the coronavirus has still got a GDP growth of 1%, which is still not negative. It is right. Actually, from 7%, yes, it has come down to 1% now because of this virus and the lockdown. But definitely we can expect India to be the first country to recover after this corona vaccine comes, as well as the pandemic gets over. So then we will actually see how Indian economy will change after another few months. I don't know exactly when, we cannot predict, but we are hoping that the economy revives quite fast. So to start with this, I would like to just share one small video with you all, which is a part of the Mother's Day program. It is slightly a funny video, but this video will actually waken you up for this presentation. It's a very good dish for this presentation.
Every day you keep me safe and warm and loved and fed. But today's your special day, it was my turn instead. So I got up at 5 a.m., I've been working hard since then. Some things I didn't get quite right, next year I'll try again. Just for you I did my best to cut my own hair. Some places came out pretty good and some are kind of bare. I washed all your nicest clothes, but the washer wasn't free. So I used the dishwasher, pretty smart of me. Remember, no one's perfect, every kid has faults. Remember, it's the thought that counts more than the results. My heart was in the right place, even though I did it wrong. It was all to say on Mother's Day, my love for you is strong. I vacuumed really quietly, I didn't use the power. I cleaned your dirty iPad screen, I held it in the shower. I painted all the ceilings, it was easy with the mop. Now the carpet's painted too with cool rainbow drops. I answered all your work emails with just leave me alone. And we gave a prince from Scandinavia a loan. I watered all the houseplants with the garden hose. I forgot to turn it off, sometimes that's how it goes. Remember, no one's perfect, every kid has faults. Remember, it's the thought that counts more than the results. My heart was in the right place even though I did it wrong. It was all to say on Mother's Day, my love for you is strong. Your car's shiny inside and out with lots of olive oil. Who knew that oatmeal splatters up so high and far on boil? I tried to make you orange juice, but I spilled it on the floor. I tried to fry you bacon, we don't have a stove no more. Since you can't really cook this week, I called the pizza place. I emptied out the fridge and freezer so there's enough space. They should be here anytime, 2 dozen pizza pies. I paid with your credit card, I hope that you're surprised. Remember, no one's perfect, every kid has faults. Remember, it's the thought that counts more than the results. My heart was in the right place even though I did it wrong. It was all to say on Mother's Day, my love for you is strong. My heart was in the right place even though I did it wrong. It was all to say on Mother's Day, my love for you is strong. It was all to say on Mother's Day, my love for you is strong.
Yes, my dear friend, this was a song specially created for the mothers who are present today. In fact, all the mothers should feel the pride that yes, your child might be making a lot of faults, a lot of mistakes. So we have to be able to cope up with them. And now just to introduce our guest speaker for today, in short, like what I will tell you, he is the CEO of Advanced Minds. It basically hails from Visakhapatnam. And he has been conducting these training sessions all over India for various corporates, for various associations, for various groups. And he has mastered it in such a way that his passion is to make a difference to the lives of all the people around, whether it is the children, whether it's the parents, whether it's the teachers, and more so specifically as far as the academics is concerned, how to improve the performance and how to actually get the best out of the child. So not to waste much of your time, because he has got a lot in store for us today, I will like to hand over the mic and the screen to Mr. Satish. You can get the thing started. Over to you, Satish. And a warm welcome once again. And also a warm welcome to the ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund people, means the representatives who are present over here today for sponsoring actually this program and associating with the Navemarg Foundation. Thank you. Over to you, Satish.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so friends, good evening. Pleasure to be here today with all the parents sitting there. So friends, so firstly, before I start, that was a lovely video, sir. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. And so friends, 3 things should happen, friends. 1, you must be able to see me. 2, you must be able to hear my voice. And 3, you must be able to see the slides I'm showing. If all 3 are happening, please type 3 in the chat box, please. I repeat, you should be able to see me, hear my voice, and look at the slide. If all 3 are happening, please type 3 in the chat box. Fantastic. So friends, so welcome to Magical Parenting Program. Friends, let's start this session with a very simple question. I want all the parents to participate. There are a few conditions here. 1, this is an exclusive parenting event, friends. So parents and grandparents can attend, but children should not attend this session. If you have children watching this, please make sure they will not participate in this program. They can do it when they become parents, but not now, right? And second condition, if possible, both husband, wife, both of you sit together and watch it for max benefit. And third one, please ensure, friends, that you have a notebook and a pen handy. There's a small activity in between, so you will need a book and a pen at that time. So please have a notebook and a pen handy. Fantastic. If everything is ready, just type yes in the chat box. And the entire session is going to be interactive. The way you talk to me back is through the chat box. So please actually participate and type in the chat box. Thank you so much. Friends, let's start with a very simple question. I want the answers in the chat box, please. Friends, you tell me, on any given day, On any given day, if you don't like your child's behavior, for example, your child came back from school or college, they're supposed to do the homework, but they're watching TV for a long time. They're playing on the cell phone for a long time. They have exams at the corner. They're supposed to study, but they are, playing around, or they are showing anger on you, or they are like, maybe they're lying to you. Any such behavior. When you don't like your child's behavior, friends, you tell me till now, as a mother or as a father, what are you doing? Please type your answers in the chat box, please. I repeat my question. On any given day, if you don't like your child's behavior, maybe your son or daughter are watching TV for a long time, playing on the cell phone for a long time, or they're lying to you, they're showing anger on you, any such behavior, if you don't like their behavior till date, as a parent, what are you doing? Please type your answers, please. What are you doing if you don't like your child's behavior? When I ask this question in my live seminars, a lot of parents say that we tell them softly, or we scold them, we shout at them, we scream at them, we beat them sometimes. Yeah. So show anger, not hearing anything. Okay, good. So, right. So isn't it, friends? So that's what even we do. I'll tell you what we generally do, friends. As you people rightly said there, we first tell them softly. See, I don't think so, friends, we start beating them, right? We don't do that. First, we'll tell them in a very soft way. We'll tell them, see, chotu, motu, botu, some name would be there. We'll see beta, this is not how you should behave. This is how you should behave. We tell them in a very soft tone. Yes or no, friends? And as long as you tell them in such soft way, they nod their heads very well. Correct? But will they listen to us? No. So what do we get, friends? Anger. Agree? So what do? We shout at them, or we scold them, or we beat them max, isn't it? Friends, my question is very simple, friends. When we warn them softly, or when we scold our children, or when we beat them, do you really find a long-term change happening in your children? Type your answers, please. When we don't like their behavior, some parents warn them softly, some scold them, some scream at them, some beat them. But when you do this, when you do any of these options, do you really find a long-term change happening in your children? No, right? When you scold them, when you beat them, do they come back and say, Papa, you opened my eyes, I'll not touch cell phone tomorrow? Do they do that? I don't think so. And the truth of the matter, my friends, the truth of the matter is, when we scold them or when we beat them, even we feel bad here, even that night, we don't feel like eating our dinner properly. Yes or no, my friends? Then why do we do this? When we know as parents that scolding, warning, beating is not bringing a long-term change in our children, then why do we do this, my friends? Because this, my friends, is called the traditional parenting system. Please say that. I can't hear you, but please say it once. It's called the traditional parenting system. I'll tell you why we do this, friends. You know why we do this? Because our parents did the same thing to us. Do you agree? When we were small, just go back to your childhood, friends, when we were small, sometimes even we were mischievous, isn't it? So even our parents, they warned us softly, sometimes they scolded us. If required, even they gave us a beating. Because they did that way, even today we do the same way to our children, friends, isn't it? But let me tell you where things changed. Friends, the truth of the matter is, which we have to agree, that when we were small, all the parents sitting in this session, friends, do you agree that when we were small, we had more respect or more fear or more obedience towards our parents? So when they warned us or when they scolded us, we became almost all right. But today, my friends, you agree or not, this generation kids, the kind of respect we had towards our elders, it has slowly come down. Do you agree? Just type yes in the chat box. Compared to our generation, respect and fear has slowly come down for this generation. Yes or no, friends? That is why this system is no longer working for us. Traditional parenting system worked like magic for our parents, but for our generation, when it comes to our generation, friends, the system is no longer working for them. So what do we do now? What do we do? This session is all about telling you what to do about it. Friends, what do we do about it? Please understand, we need to learn a new system. Because traditional parenting system is no longer working for this generation, we need to learn a new system, my friends, and that system is called child psychology. Please make a note of it. It's called child psychology. We're getting into the subject now, so please pay attention. So friends, I repeat one more time. Friends, beating, scolding, or harshly shouting at them is not a solution, friends. Had that been the solution, your children should have changed by now, right? So we need to learn a new system, friends, for this generation kids, and the system is called child psychology. Now, the next slide I'm going to show you now, the next slide is the most important slide in this entire program. Look at the slide, friends. Look at this slide. Now, there's a professor, friends. Professor, his name is Elaine Tech. He's from Michigan University. One day, this happened a few years back. One day, this professor called Elaine Tech, he did an experiment. Listen closely. What he did was, he went to a small room and he took a dog with him. And when the dog was hungry, he gave food to the dog. But before giving food, he rang a bell. He rang a bell, he gave the food there. The dog ate the food. Second day, he repeated. He took the dog again, and when the dog was hungry, he again rang the bell somewhere, he gave the food. He gave the food. Third day, bell, food. Fourth day, bell, food. This he repeated for 2 months. For 60 days, every day he did the same thing. He took the dog to the room, and the dog was hungry. He rang the bell somewhere, he gave the food there. So 60 days passed by. On the 61st day, the next day, 61st day, you know what he did? He took the dog again, but on the 61st day, he did not take the food. He just took the dog into the room, and when the dog was hungry, he casually went and rang the bell, and the dog came there. The dog can see that there is no food there. But the moment it heard the sound, it automatically came there. He rang the bell somewhere else, the dog came there. Wherever he rang the bell, the moment the sound is heard, the dog automatically went there. Now, friends, you type your answer. Why did the dog do that? When the dog can see there's no food there, why did the dog go everywhere wherever the bell was rung? Why would the dog do that, friends? Type your answers, please. Why did the dog, though it knows it has no food there, the moment the bell sound is heard, the dog automatically went there? Why would the dog do that? Please type your answers in the chat box. Exactly. Perfect. Very good. Because you're right. Absolutely right, friends. Thank you for your answers. Because the dog's mind is conditioned, isn't it? For 60 days, my friends, every day, bell, food, bell, food. So for 60 days, the dog's mind is conditioned that food, that bell sound means food, isn't it? It got so used to it that on 61st day, even though there's no food, the dog automatically went there when the bell sound was heard. Do you agree, my friends? Good. Now, friends, all of you remember this experiment. Now listen carefully. This professor, Elaine Tech, he did one more experiment now. The first experiment is the dog and the bell. You got it. Now, the professor did one more experiment now. The second experiment goes like this. You know what he did? To the same room, he took a different dog. Now, not this dog. This time, to the same room, professor, he took a different dog. And this, for the second dog, when the dog was hungry, he gave food. But for the second dog, there is no bell, friends. No bell. Directly, he gave the food. But for the food plate, he gave a mild shock, right? So the dog that came to the food, it touched the food, it got a shock, it went back. Second day, he repeated. He gave the food, he gave the dog the food, but he gave a mild shock to the plate. The dog touched it, it got a shock, it went back. So 3 days, 4 days, he repeated this. After 4 days, the dog became sick. No food for 4 days, right? So the dog became sick. So on the 5th day, the professor felt bad for the dog. So 5th day, what he did, he removed all those shocks and he only gave the food there. Even then, the dog did not touch the plate. Now my question again to you, on the 5th day, when there are no shocks, even then the dog did not touch the food. Why would the dog not touch the food? Type your answers, please. 5th day, the professor felt bad, removed all the shocks and just gave the food plate there. Even then, the dog did not touch the plate. Why? Exactly, right? Correct. Because again, the dog's mind is conditioned, friends. You're right. Because the dog's mind is conditioned that food means shock, isn't it? The first dog is conditioned that bell means food. The second dog is conditioned that food means shock, isn't it? So you know what happened finally, friends? 7 days passed by. Now the dog is about to die. No food for 7 days. The dog is starving to death. The professor felt so bad. So on the 7th day, he removed all the shocks. He took the food plate and he kept it near the dog's mouth. He kept the food plate near the dog's mouth, but the dog has got no energy to go back. So it just moved its head away, but did not touch the plate. You know why? Because the dog thought, I better die, but I cannot take these shocks anymore. Isn't it, friends? Friends, if you understood these two examples, bells and shocks, if you understood these two examples, Friends, all the parents sitting here, friends, for just a second, if we can imagine our children in the dog's place, believe it or not, friends, even we knowingly or unknowingly, even we are giving our children bells and shocks every day. Do you know this? I repeat, for just a second, if we can imagine our children in the dog's place there, friends, knowingly or unknowingly, even we as parents, we are giving bells and shocks to our own children, friends. And the bad news is we are giving more. Guess it. Please type your answer. What are we giving more? Bells or shocks? Give a wild guess. We're giving more shocks. You're right, friends. Absolutely right. We're giving more shocks. That's the truth. Let me give you some examples to make you understand this. Yeah, exactly. So let's come from our childhood, friends. Yeah. You know how parents talk to children? Right from childhood. Let's come right from childhood. You know, when the children are very small, parents talk like this. If you don't eat the food now, the thief will take you away. Bell or shock. If you don't do the homework, I'll call you principal. Bell or shock. If you don't listen to me now, I'm going to call you dad now. Bell or shock. Friends, these things may look funny for you and me, but for their world, they're big shocks, my friends. Seriously. As parents, knowingly or unknowingly, we give so many shocks to children right from their childhood, friends. That is why, you know, by the time the child comes to age 14 or 15, generally we find a huge gap between parents and children. You know, by the time the boy comes to age 14, when the parents say, beta, let's go out, the boy says, you both go outside, I'll stay at home. He's actually saying, you both get out, I had enough shocks in my life. Seriously, friends, today we as a parent of this generation need to understand what a bell and what a shock means. I'm going to give you some examples now. I want all the parents here to please think and answer in the chat box. Okay. So friends, first example, let's say, friends, imagine that today, let's say you bought a new flat, a 3 BHK flat. Okay. So you invested lakhs of rupees. You also took a home loan. You have to pay the EMI. And today, let's say, for example, is a housewarming ceremony. Okay, the housewarming ceremony, and you invited your guests and your friends, and you're busy in the housewarming ceremony. Just imagine this, my dear parents, as you're busy in the housewarming occasion. Imagine your small daughter. She goes into the bedroom. New house, new flat, new walls. Okay, imagine your daughter goes into the bedroom and she takes a marker and she writes on the whole wall. Give me a frank answer, friends. What do you do? Give a bell or a shock? This type of answers, friends. Genuinely. Imagine new house, new walls. She takes a marker and writes on the whole wall. What do you do? Bell or shock? Give me some frank answers, please. You know, when I ask this question in my live seminars, a majority of parents agree that they give shocks to children. Isn't it, friends? Let me tell you this, friends. You know, in English, very good. See, thank you for your frank answers. Most of us give shocks, isn't it? Friends, all the parents listen carefully. Friends, in English, there's a term called knowledge is powerful, and we know this. We know that knowledge is powerful. That is why we send our children to schools and colleges, because they have to equip knowledge. That I strongly agree. Knowledge is powerful, right? But my dear parents, there's one word in English which is more powerful than knowledge. And that word, my friends, is called emotion. Friends, do you know this? Do you know that emotions are more powerful than knowledge? Let me give an example. Did you ever get into lift, friends? You got into lift, right? Building lift, yeah? Question to you. Friends, imagine you went into a building, you're supposed to get into the lift, and the lift is on the top floor, you're on the ground floor, you're supposed to hit the button, and the lift comes down, right? My question to all the parents sitting here, how many times should you hit the button for the lift to come down? Please type your answers. You go into a building, you're supposed to hit the button, and the lift comes down. How many times should you hit the button for the lift to come down? Type your answers, please. One time, right? Good. So we all have this knowledge, friends. Correct. We all have this knowledge here. We know you hit the button once and lift comes down. Agree? But you tell me, friends, how many times in our life, when there's something emergency, we need to go as an emergency, we keep hitting the button again and again, isn't it? Why? Because understand, my friends, because when the emotion comes forward, knowledge goes to backseat. Because, my dear friends, emotions are more powerful than knowledge. And the biggest mistake many parents do is, even before they give a knowledge to children, they spoil their emotions and they give them shocks, friends. I repeat, one of the biggest mistakes many parents do, on a day-to-day basis is even before they give knowledge to children, they spoil their emotions and they give them shocks. Let me give an example. Remember, I told that the little girl wrote on the wall like that. You know why she wrote like that, friends? Because till that date, maybe the little girl, white paper, she saw it only this much in her notebook. But for the first time, she saw such a big wall as a white paper, so she got excited. She wrote on the wall. Let's understand this, friends. Parents are different from magical parents. This program target is for us to become a magical parent. You know the first quality of a magical parent? First quality of a magical parent is they give knowledge to children without giving them shocks. And let me tell you, friends, if really a magical parent looks at that wall, okay, if the girl's writing on the wall, if a magical parent looks at that, you know what they say? This is exactly what they say. They say, beta, you want to draw? They buy a big white chart, 5 rupees. They buy a big white chart. They both will try to draw on the white chart and spoil the white chart. They try to make the wall better. When you give a knowledge to children, you're not supposed to give them shocks, friends. You're not supposed to spoil their emotions. Let me give one more example to make you understand this. All ladies sitting in this session today, all the wonderful ladies, you will understand this example better. Mothers, when you get up in the morning, okay, all the ladies, you know this, that when you get up in the morning, especially when the schools and colleges are happening, you know this, that when you get up in the morning, the kitchen is not just a kitchen, it looks like a battlefield, isn't it? You got to get the rice cooker ready, you got to get breakfast ready, you got to get yourself ready, you got to get children ready for the school. It's such a huge havoc early in the morning. Agree, just type yes or no. Kitchen early in the morning, you know how it looks more like a battlefield, isn't it? Now you tell me, ladies, when you're so busy in the morning, imagine your son comes and breaks a glass. What do you do? Give me a frank answer, bell or shock. You're so busy in the kitchen and your son comes and he breaks a glass. What do you do? Bell or shock? I need some frank answers, please. Friends, if you participate, you'll learn better. Please type your answers. Bell or shock? Isn't it? See, that's what I'm saying. See how easily, just look at this, friends. Just get awareness as to how easily we're giving shocks to children. Why did you come here? Is how we shout at him, isn't it? I repeat again, friends. When you give a knowledge to children, you're not supposed to give them shocks. You're not supposed to spoil their emotions. The magical parent looks at a glass breaking. You know what she first asks? A magical mother. The first question she asked was, beta, did it hurt you? It's a glass that broke, right? The first question she'll ask, she'll check if there's any hurt. If he's not hurted, she'll say, beta, next time you need some water, let me know, I'll help you. So she'll go get a glass of water and she goes and cleans and get busy again. When you give a knowledge to children, my dear parents, you're not supposed to give them shocks, and please don't spoil their emotions, friends. Now, friends, if you can start doing this, if you can start reducing your shocks, and if you can start reducing your shocks, friends, you have no idea how children can grow in life. Let me give you some examples. You have no, friends, I repeat, if you can start giving bells, if you can reduce your shocks, you have no idea how children grow in life. Let me take some live examples. Friends, for example, let's look at Narendra Modi, sir. Narendra Modi, sir, is such a famous person today. He was not famous when he was small, right? I think some of you know this example. You know, it so happened a few years back, Narendra Modi, sir, he wrote an article in a magazine. I'm sure some of you must have read this article. Article titled, My Childhood Memories. That's a topic. So he wrote in the article one of his childhood memories. You know what happened, friends? Narendra Modi, sir, when he was just 10 years of age, it seems, when he was of age 10, one day in the evening, he went out to play in the evening and he jumped into a drainage. Seriously, he jumped into a drainage. He swam there for some time, mud all over him covered. He caught a baby crocodile and he came back home. My dear parents, a quick question to you. Please type your answers in the chat, please. Imagine if your son or if your daughter, if they go out to play in the evening, just imagine, and if they really jump into drainage, imagine your children in front of you now fully covered with mud from drainage. And bonus is a baby crocodile. Friends, give me a frank answer. What do you do? Bell or shock? Type your genuine answers, please. Imagine your child coming full mud covered, drainage and crocodile. What do you do? Bell or shock? Go for a bath. Nice. Yeah. So the point is, friends, you know, when I ask this question again in my live seminars, many parents say that we give a shock to them immediately. But Narendra Modi's mother is a magical mother. You know what she said? When she opened the door, when she saw him like that, when she saw him like that, the first question she asked was, she asked him only one question. She said, Beta, if anybody takes you far away from me, will you be happy? If anybody takes you far away from me, will you be happy? He said, no. Then she asked, will this baby crocodile, will she be happy? He said, no. So she asked, what do you do then? She did not say what to do. She just asked, what do you do then? He understood. He went, kept the crocodile in the drainage. He came back. And friends, a few years back, he wrote an article. You know what he wrote in the article? He wrote, today, when I came to this position as Narendra Modi, across the country, many people are appreciating that I'm a good decision maker. But let me tell you, my dear friends, I did not become a decision maker today. That very day, when my mom opened the door, instead of slapping me, she taught me decision making. That very day, I became a decision maker, is what he wrote in his article. He must actually clap for his mother, friends, for being a magical mother. Friends, if you agree, just type clap in the chat, please. You must clap for his mother for being a magical mother. Just type clap in the chat. Let's take one more example now. Swami Vivekananda. Friends, Vivekananda's name was also Narendra. Do you know this? Vivekananda was also called Narendra. So Narendra Modi, Narendra. So Narendra name is working out. Next time you have kids at home, name them Narendra. Anyways, so it seems that when Swami Vivekananda, when he was small, Vivekananda ji, he used to like more spiritualities. He used to love spirituality. More than the school books, Vivekananda used to read more spiritual books. And it so used to happen, friends, that in the small town where he used to live, evenings, during those evening times, to the town, Swamijis and Babas, they used to come and they used to deliver the spiritual messages, right? So generally for such spiritual meetings, aged people go, right? Elders go. But because Vivekananda is interested in spirituality, even he used to go to those meetings. And it so happened, friends, one fine evening to that town, one Swamiji came that day and Vivekananda went to that meeting. And that day the topic is Lord Hanuman. Lord Hanuman is a topic. So Swamiji took the mic and he started talking about Hanuman. He said Hanuman is like, he's omnipresent, he's in all lokas, all kalas. So Swamiji kept talking. Vivekananda got a doubt. He said, Swamiji, I have a doubt. Children get a lot of doubts. You know it very well as a parent, right? So Vivekananda said, Swamiji, I have a doubt. Swamiji said, what? Vivekananda said, Swamiji, you said Lord Hanuman is omnipresent, is in every loka and every kala is what you said. So tell me, Swamiji, where is he now? You know, the biggest mistake many parents and elders do, when a child asks a question, if we don't know the answer, we don't agree the fact. We'll just tell them something or the other and we escape from the situation, isn't it? So the same way that day, Swamiji, he said, you want to see Lord Hanuman? See beta, actually Lord Hanuman, he came from monkeys and monkeys love bananas. So we have these banana trees at the outskirts of our town. So every night Hanuman comes there, he eats bananas and he goes back. So he just cooked up some story. Swamiji cooked up some story. And once the meeting got over, he left. That night, my friends, Vivekananda, he did not go back home. He did not go back home. That night, he started walking out to the outskirts of the town. He went to the banana trees and he sat there waiting for Lord Hanuman. On the other end, his parents started getting worried, isn't it? Just imagine, if your son, if your daughter, if they go out to play in the evening, if they don't come back by night, we get worried, isn't it? His parents, poor people, they went from house to house. They knocked each door. They said, did you see my son? They said, we did not. So they kept roaming all night to all the houses. Vivekananda, on the other hand, he sat near under the banana trees. He kept waiting all night. Did Hanuman come? No. So next day morning, Vivekananda returned back home. Now, question to all the parents. Give me a frank answer, friends. Please participate. Type your answers in the chat box. Imagine this. If your son, if your daughter, if your son, if they go out to play in the evening, if they don't come back by night and all night they did not return and our BP shoots to sky level and we're so worried. And the next day morning, they come coolly and knock the door. When you open the door, what do you do? Bell or shock? Give me a frank answer, please. Next day, they just come and knock the door. If you open the door, what do you do? Bell or shock, friends? You know, in my live sessions again, when I ask this question, a lot of parents strongly agree that they give shocks to children, isn't it? I repeat again, friends. When you give a knowledge to children, You're not supposed to spoil their emotions, friends. You're not supposed to give them shocks. Vivekananda's mother, friends, is a magical mother. You know what she said? When she opened the door in the morning, when she saw her son, the first question she asked was, Beta, are you hungry? He didn't eat last night, right? He went in the evening for the meeting. He did not come back for dinner. So the first question she asked was, Beta, are you hungry? So when she asked that, Vivekananda started crying. So she said, what happened? So he told the whole story about Hanuman and monkeys and bananas. He told the whole story. Friends, if your son tells the same story, what would we say? We would say, that Swamiji lied to you, is what we would have said, isn't it? But if we said that, the boy would have lost trust in God. You know what his mother said? His mother said, Nay, beta, see, Hanuman is a disciple of Lord Rama. So maybe Lord Rama, there's some task to him. He might have gone somewhere else, but definitely someday in life, you will see him. Friends, let me tell you this whole incident I'm talking about now, Vivekananda, he wrote it in a book, in one of his books. You know what he wrote? He wrote that today, when I came to Chicago, when I gave a speech here, people started calling me Swami Vivekananda, but it did not become Swami today. That very day, when my mom opened the door, instead of slapping me, she taught me not to lose trust in God. That very day, I became Swami, is what he wrote in his book. We must again clap, my friends, for his mother for being a magical mother. Please type clap in the chat box, please. His mother who deserves a clap for being a magical mother. Friends, I can give you so many examples like this. My point here is we need to understand as parents as to what is stopping us. My dear parents, we need to understand as to what is stopping you and me to become such wonderful, magical parents. I repeat the question. Today, we need to understand through this session as to what is stopping you and me to become such wonderful, magical parents. You know what is stopping us, friends? You know what is stopping us? Our own mistakes while handling child's mistakes. Seriously, friends, let me tell you what is stopping us to become a wonderful, magical parent. You know, what's stopping us is our own mistakes, friends, while handling child's mistakes. Friends, let me tell you this. To build this program called Magical Parenting, I designed actually 2 programs for parents. One is called Magical Parenting Basic Level. The one we're discussing today is the Basic Level Magical Parenting Program. I also designed Magical Parenting Advanced Level Program. So 2 programs are designed. And to build these 2 programs, friends, it took me more than 8 years' time. And I made a lot of research, read many books on parenting, attended many seminars on parenting across the country. I interviewed many parents. It took me more than 8 years to build this program, friends. Let me tell you this, friends. Before I built this program, I thought, we became adults, so we have to correct children. Children make mistakes. We have to correct them as parents, is what I used to think. But believe me, friends, after 8 years of research, I discovered that agree or not, we as parents, we are committing more than 200 mistakes. Do you know this, friends? As parents, knowingly or unknowingly, we're committing 200 mistakes in handling children. Now, today, we don't have that kind of time to discuss all 200 mistakes. So what we'll do right now, friends, we'll discuss about the top 10 mistakes parents do. I want all the parents sitting there to please participate. I'll tell you how to participate. Take a book and a pen. If you and your husband both are participating, I request both of you to take books and pens and participate. Right? Let me tell you how to participate. You have to score yourself, friends. I'll show you now the top 10 mistakes. Okay? 0 to 10 is a scale, friends. Listen carefully. 0 to 10 scale, which means I'll talk about each mistake. I'll explain each mistake to you. Once I explain the mistake, if you think, please score genuinely, friends. If you think you're doing that mistake, put 10 marks on you. If you're not doing that mistake, very good, put 0 marks. If you're doing it once in a while, then put 3 or 4 or 6 or 8, depending on the intensity. If you understand, type yes, friends. I repeat again, 0 to 10 scale. I'll show you the top 10 mistakes of parenting. When I show you each mistake and explain the mistake, if you think you're doing that mistake, put 10 marks on you. If you're not doing that mistake, friends, very good, put 0 marks on you. If you're doing it once in a while, then put 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 or 9, depending on the intensity. And I request every parent to please score yourself. Especially if husband and wife both are sitting together, I request both of you to score your scores. I'll tell you what happens in my live sessions. You know, husband and wife sit together, husband will be scoring, wife sits idle. So when I show a mistake, wife says, see, I told you mistakes. So they start fighting with each other. So you don't start fighting with each other. Please genuinely score your marks. So now, friends, let's look at the top 10 mistakes. Number 1, please make note of it. The first mistake, conditional love. Please say that. Conditional love. Friends, one of the biggest mistakes many parents do is conditional love. You know what conditional love means, friends? If you do this, I will do this. That's conditional love. If you do this, then I will do this. A business deal with children. Friends, if you do the homework, example, if you do the homework, I'll buy you an ice cream. If you keep your room neat, I'll send you to your friend's place. If you do this, then I'll do this. A business deal with children. Let me tell you what a big mistake it can be, friends. If you start doing it, I'll tell you what happens. As time progresses, as your child starts growing, for anything the child wants to do, he expects something back in return, and that spoils his character. Friends, if you want to buy something, if you want to buy an ice cream, don't put conditions. Just say, beta, I love you so much. Here's your ice cream. No conditions around it, friends. Are you putting conditions? Please score yourself. If you're putting conditions a lot, put 10 marks or else put less marks. Okay, genuinely score yourself. Whatever is your number, please score. Okay, good. So let's do the second mistake now. Please make a note of it, friends. The second mistake, shocks. Please make a note of it. Mistake number 2, many parents do is shocks. The last few minutes, we've been discussing on this topic, shocks. For every example I gave you, for every question I asked you, I saw you writing shock, shock, shock in the chat, friends. Just because we don't know how to control anger. Just because we don't know stress management. Just because we don't know work-life balance. If for every small and big thing, if you're giving shocks to your children, even before you give them knowledge, if you're scolding them, shouting at them, beating them, if you're giving more shocks, please put more marks on yourself. If not, less marks. Everyone, please score yourself. Let's look at the third mistake now, friends. Please make note of it. The third mistake, quantity as quality time. Please write it down. The third mistake many parents do, quantity plus quality time. You know, friends, actually, we became busy today. Our lifestyles have turned very busy. So what most parents think is we need to give quality time to children is what they think. I strongly agree. We need to give them quality time. But please understand, parents, quality is required, but children also need quantity time. Let me give an example. See, suppose, example, I like paneer tikka. Okay, so if I go to a restaurant and if I say, bearer, get me a paneer tikka, he brings a big bowl of paneer tikka. If he takes only one single paneer, if he keeps in the plate and say, eat, what will I say? I say, put some more, isn't it? The quality is there, but the quantity is also required. The same is true with children, friends. You need to give them the quantity plus quality time. Let me give an example. An example I can never forget in my lifetime. This happened a few years back. I was at Bangalore doing a session for one of the schools on magical parenting. So that was a full day session that day. Many parents, even grandparents came that day. So it was like a big, big event. So I did the session there and the program got over. And towards evening, I went to the principal's room. I sat in the room and I'm waiting for the principal. In the meantime, a couple came there. Grandparents, grandmother, grandfather. A couple came and they said, sir, we want to speak to you. I said, please. I can never forget what they said that day, friends. You know what the grandparents said? They said, sir, we in Bangalore are one of the richest families. That's what the grandparents said. They said, we are well-off family. We have big money. We have great bank balance. We have huge assets. We are very rich. That's what the grandparents said. And they said, sir, we are ready right now. If required, right now we're ready to give away all our properties to our children. All we need our children to give us permission just for 1 hour to play with our grandchildren. Did you understand, friends? I did not. The grandparents said, we have a lot of properties and assets. We are ready to give away all the properties to our children today itself if required. All we need is just 1 hour permission to play with our grandchildren. I was shocked, isn't it? And they said, even our children came to a session today. They are waiting outside. Please call them and talk to them. I said, okay. So I said, I'll try. So I sent the grandparents out. I called the parents in. And I asked the parents, my dear parents, what's happening at in your family? Why should your parents give you properties? And why should you give permission to play with your children? You know what the parents said, friends? I can never forget the answer. The parents said, sir, you don't know, sir, right? That's what the parents said. The parents said, right from our childhood, we desperately want to spend time with our without parents, but both my mom and dad are so busy making money and properties and bank balance and crores of rupees. They're so busy making money. They never gave us time required. And we, unlike them, we are taking excellent care of our children today. We don't even want a shadow to fall on our children. Did you understand, friends? That badly, children need your time. I want to make a very profound statement to all the parents here. Remember this statement, friends. In life, remember parents, in life, at any age, at any stage, we can earn money, friends. But children are children only once. Please make sure you give them the time required. Are you giving them the quantity and quality time? If you're not giving them the required time, please put more marks in yourself. If you're giving them the time required, put less marks. My dear parents, please score yourself. Let's move to the next mistake now. Write down nagging for the same mistake. Please make a note of it. The fourth mistake many parents I see doing is nagging for the same mistake. Nagging. You know what nagging means, friends? When a child makes a mistake, when our child makes a mistake, we need to correct them. Of course, we need to. Who else will correct our children? So we are supposed to correct our children, but don't give them shocks. Don't spoil their emotions. Give them knowledge and try to correct them. And you tell me, friends, if you correct your children, will your children change overnight? Will they? If they change overnight, you'll become gods and goddesses there, isn't it? So you know this, friends. When you try to correct the child will take some time, isn't it? In the meantime, if you again and again point out that mistake, that's called nagging, friends. Let me give you an example. Let's say the child's handwriting is not good. If the handwriting is not good, he'll become a doctor, isn't it? I'm sorry, there's a joke. So let's say the child's handwriting is not good. There's nothing wrong in telling the child to write neatly. There's nothing wrong in buying a cursive writing book and say practice. There's nothing wrong in putting a child in a handwriting course. But no matter what you do, friends, you tell me, will the handwriting change overnight? Obviously, no. So the child will take his own time to try to practice and improve the handwriting. But in the meantime, if you again and again point out handwriting, that's called nagging. This is a small example like that. If you point out a child's mistake again and again, friends, that's called nagging. Are you doing it? Please put more marks in yourself, if not less marks. Number 5, fifth mistake, friends. A classic blunder. Make a note of it. A classic blunder. It's called comparison with others. Comparison with others. Friends, we know this. As parents, we all know this, that on this planet, crores of people live on the planet, but no two fingerprints match, no two eye colors match, no two skin body order matches. We know this. We know this. We know that no two people are the same, right? Friends, my question is simple. When we know two people are not same, how can you, when you know two people and two kids are not same, how can you compare them, friends? My dear parents, please remember this. If you compare your child, either within the family or outside the family, if you compare your child to someone, friends, you have no idea. The child may not say much outside, but you have no idea how much they get squeezed inside, friends. I repeat, if you compare your child with anyone, either within the family or outside the family, you have no idea how much they get squeezed, friends. Let me give an example. Let's say a child came home from school with a progress report and the child got, let's say, 74%. Good, right? So the child came home with a progress report and he got 74%. Decent enough, right? But we did 90 plus, right? So when the child gives a report to his father looks at the report, looks on his face, and he says, "Are these marks? Look at Rahul in the next house. Rahul got 91%. Are these marks?" Now, if the father says that, you know what the boy says? The boy doesn't say much out, friends. But you know what he says inside, what he thinks inside? He thinks, "Dad, you are comparing me with Rahul, Dad. You're insulting me, Dad. No problem, Dad. But Dad, what if I say this, that Rahul's father has got 4 cars, you have only 1 car, Dad. So what if I say this? Remember, Dad, last week Mom made gulab jam and you did not like it. Remember what you said that day, Dad? You said to Mom that Rita auntie makes better gulab jams. And remember what Mom said that day, Dad? Mom got so much of anger on you. She said, you better go marry Rita, is what she said. Dad, Mom just struggled only 1 hour to make the gulab jam and she got so much of anger. I struggled 1 full year to get these marks, Dad. You know what I should say, Dad? I should say, you better get Rahul in this house, not me. Children don't speak out much, parents, but they get so squeezed inside. Are you comparing? If you are comparing, my dear parents, please put more marks on yourself. If not, less marks. I'm assuming every parent is participating and scoring yourself. Please put your marks. Let's go to the next mistake now. Mistake number 6. Please make note of it. Their mistakes are crime. Our mistakes are cream. Please write it down. Their mistakes are crime. Our mistakes are cream. That's how parents look at it. Uska galti to galti, hamara galti to chalti, isn't it? Friends, when a child makes a mistake, we take a magnifying glass and look at that mistake. But if the mistake is done by us, we have every justification why we made that mistake. Let me give an example. Let's say at my home, I'm walking and talking on the phone, right? Example, I'm talking on the phone, walking, and suddenly the phone slipped. Mistakes happen, accidents happen, so the phone fell down. So what do, friends? I take the phone, brush it off again, dial and talk and walk again, right? If I ask my son to get my phone, and if he drops it, I'll slap him. And if I drop it, it's just an accident. But if he drops it, we suddenly remember it's a costly phone, isn't it? This is a small example, friends. Like this, when you make a mistake, remember parents, when you make a mistake, if you can forgive yourself for the same mistake, if you cannot forgive your children, you get degraded in their eyes. Do you know this? I repeat, when we make a mistake, when we can forgive ourselves, for the same mistake, if you cannot forgive your children, you get degraded in their eyes. Are you doing it? If yes, please put more marks in yourself. If not, less marks. Let's go to the next mistake. Please score yourself. Mistake number 7. Another classic blunder. Please write down fighting in front of children. Everybody, please make note of it. Fighting in front of children. Friends, the other day, before this corona thing happened, I went to one of my friend's place, a family friend. I was about to step inside their house and I saw 2 children outside fighting, really fighting. 2 small children beating each other really hard. I said, hey, don't fight. You know what they said? They said, sir, we're not fighting, sir. We're playing mom and dad game, it seems. Seriously, friends. I want all the parents in this session, I want to ask you a very important question. I want every one of you to please type your answers in the chat. My dear parents, tell me this. Imagine wherever you're sitting, imagine your children in front of you. Just imagine for a second. Imagine your children in front of you, and in their presence, if you and your husband, if you both start lip locking and kissing each other, if you both start removing clothes and behaving sexually, is it right or wrong? Please type your answers, friends. I want everyone to participate. In front of your children, if you and your husband, if you and your life partner, if you both start lip locking or kissing and behaving sexually, is it right or wrong? Please type your answers, please, in the chat. Wrong. Very good. I strongly agree with you. Isn't it, friends? Definitely wrong, right? In front of children, behaving sexually, lip locking, definitely wrong in front of children. Even I agree with you, friends. Thank you for your answers. Even I agree with you. But my question is very simple here. Parents, think of this. Husband, wife, lip locking, husband, wife, behaving sexually is an expression of love, isn't it? If life partners, husband, wife, if they're lip locking or they're behaving sexually, that, my friends, is an expression of love, isn't it? An expression of love is a positive emotion, isn't it? My dear parents, when we have this common sense to understand that positive emotion itself is wrong before children, then fighting, scolding, talking and behaving harshly, negative emotions, is it not wrong before children, friends? Think of this. If positive emotion itself is wrong before children, then fighting, scolding, using abusive language, harsh behavior, negative emotions, is it not wrong before children, friends? In many families, we have taken it for granted. My dear parents, if you are fighting in front of your children, remember that in the long run, your children may become insecure or inferior in life. Do you know this? I repeat, if you are fighting constantly before children, they may become insecure or inferior in life. Now, the question you must ask me is, how can we not fight? Isn't it? How can a husband and wife not fight? I'm not saying don't fight. You're misunderstanding me, parents. I'm not saying don't fight. Please fight. I'm saying don't fight in front of children. If you want to fight, I have a great advice. Monday morning, send a leave letter to office. For you, send leave letter to office. Send the children to school. Both of you have breakfast. Energy to fight. Yeah. So, ma'am, put the rice cooker on the stove. Set the TV volume to 40. Close the bedroom door. Start the fight. 1 hour, 2 hours, fight, beat, scratch, bite, do whatever. No matter how much of anger you have, you can't fight beyond 2 hours. You get tired. Then you have the rice cooker ready. So come, have lunch, comb your hair, wash your face, have tea, and with a smile, welcome children back from school. My point is, friends, please don't fight in front of children. Are you doing it? Please put more marks on yourself, if not less marks. Right? Let's go to the 8th mistake now. Complaining others about children. Please make a note of it. Another big blunder. Many parents, I see them doing it, complaining others about children. My dear parents, this is my humble request with respect. Please don't do this mistake. Never, never, never complain about your children, either to within the family or to people outside the family. Don't complain negatively about your children in their presence. Friends, please understand that children trust you, friends. You are the mother, you are the father. So deep down in the heart, back of the mind, children trust you. And when you speak negatively about them, when you complain negatively about them to others, children will form mental blocks in their mind. I understand. I totally understand that maybe your children have got some problems. Then what should you do? In the child's absence, contact people like us. Just call some professionals like us and tell me what your problems are. And we will tell you, do this, and the problem is solved. But don't complain about your child in front of the child, negatively about the child, because that creates mental blocks. Are you doing this? Please put more marks on yourself, if not less marks. Let's go to the 9th mistake, friends. Another classic blunder. Please make a note of it. I spent so much money on you. I repeat, I spent so much money on you. Friends, if you want, parents, you can read this sentence 100 times right now. This is one sentence you should never say in front of children. Never tell your child that I spent so much of money on you. You know how parents talk? Do you know how much your computer is? Do you know how much your school uniform is? Do you know how much your tuition fees is? You should never talk like that. You can teach your children the value of money. That's okay. But you should never criticize them with respect to money. I'll tell you why. Let me give an example. All ladies watching this session will understand this example better. All ladies, for a second, imagine this. That let's say today is your marriage anniversary. Example, okay? Let's say today is your marriage anniversary and your husband forgot. And you know what happens, okay? So let's say your husband forgot. The next day morning, he remembered. He thought, oh my God, yesterday marriage anniversary, I forgot. So what he did, your husband, with shaking legs, he went to a jewelry shop. He bought you 10 lakhs worth necklace. And he said, darling, I'm extremely sorry. I was busy yesterday, but I love you so much. Here's your gift. So he gave you, example, 10 lakh worth necklace. 10 lakhs, right? So even you forgive him, okay? Now listen carefully, ladies. Let's say this happened and he gave you the 10 lakh necklace. And from that day, the next 2 weeks, let's say this happens at your home. What happens? One day your husband says, today make chicken. And you say, I can't go and get chicken now. And he says, I got you 10 lakhs necklace. You can't get chicken for me. And the next day he says, get me some water. And you say, I'm busy in the kitchen. And he says, I got you 10 lakh necklace. You can't get water for me. And the next day he says, press my legs. And you say, even I'm tired. And he says, 10 lakh necklace I gave you. You can't even press my legs. Ladies, imagine before and after every sentence for the next 2 weeks, if your husband keeps talking about the 10 lakh necklace, ladies, please type your answers. What do you feel like doing? Before and after every sentence for the next 2 weeks, if he keeps just talking about the 10 lakh necklace, what do you feel like doing? Ladies, I need answers, please. What do you feel like doing, friends? Exactly, right? You know, in my live sessions, when I ask this question, that's exactly what all the wives will say. They say, we'll throw the necklace back on his face, right? We give it back, isn't it? Why? Because ladies, you know why you do that? Because you feel okay. So I don't have much value at home. When the necklace has got the value, is how you'll feel, isn't it? That's exactly how children will feel, friends. If you keep saying, I spend so much money on you all the time, the children will feel that I don't have much value in this house, only money has got the value. If you can always teach them the value of money, but don't criticize them. Are you doing it? If yes, please put more marks in yourself. If no, less marks. Please score yourself, friends. And let's look at the last mistake, mistake number 10. Make a note of it. Taking decisions on behalf of children. Please make a note of it. Mistake number 10. Taking decisions on behalf of children. Friends, if your children are small, okay, up to 5 years, 6 years, I understand. Up to 6 years, we take decisions because they're too small. They don't understand the world yet. So up to age 6, we can take decisions. But remember, my dear parents, once your child crosses age 6, when you take decisions about your children, please make sure you make them a part of decision making. You can say, beta, this is what me and your mom want to buy for you. What do you think? You don't have to agree to everything they say, but you have to make them a part of decision making, friends. Please understand this. Remember this point. A human being grows in life with decision making power. Do you know this? Any human being, they grow in life with decision making power. So please make sure you make your children a part of decision making. No, I mean, if you have seen this movie, that's a Telugu movie called Bommarillu. In that movie, if you get time, watch that movie. You know, this movie where the hero's father, he keeps taking all the decisions, and the hero really gets so frustrated. If you want to see how frustrated children get, even when the hero comes to that age, his father still takes every decision for him, and the hero gets really frustrated because of the great movie on parenting. The movie is called Bommarillu. It's a Telugu movie. I think you can watch it with subtitles if you don't know Telugu. Anyways, so it's a good movie, by the way. So my point is, friends, are you taking all decisions? Are you thinking that I'm the man of the house, I make money here, I take all decisions? And ma'am, are you thinking I'm the householder here, I take care of the house, so I'll take all decisions? If you both are taking decisions, if you're not involving your children in decision making, please put more marks on yourself. If you're also putting them as a part of decision making loop, then score less marks. And that, my friends, finishes the top 10 mistakes. I'm assuming that every one of you have scored your marks. I want you to please total your marks, and the final score, please type in the chat, please. Everyone, please total your scores and write the final answer in the chat. Do some of you need calculators? Okay. Just type your final answer in the chat, please. Okay. 17. Everyone, please type your answers. Your totals in the chat, please. Okay, 17, 20. All right. Others, please, friends, please type your answers in the chat. Good. So, friends, now let's do a small meditation. Friends, I can't see you, but please participate. I trust you, friends. Please genuinely participate. We'll do a small meditation now. Everybody, close your books and sit straight. Everyone, please participate. I repeat again, friends, when such sessions happen, if you genuinely participate, you'll learn the max from those sessions. So it takes hardly 30 seconds for the meditation. So please do it genuinely. Sit straight, everyone. I can't see you, but I trust you, friends. Sit straight and close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Please close your eyes, friends. Relax. Friends, until I tell you now, please don't open your eyes. Now, whatever I tell you now, friends, it's not just about listening. Try to imagine it. Visualize it. If this exercise gets over, if you hear other sounds, if you hear other voices, you will still concentrate on what I am telling you, friends. Don't open your eyes. Just visualize. All parents, please take a deep breath. Relax. Don't open your eyes. Please participate. Take a deep breath again. Relax. One more time. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. Don't open your eyes, friends. Just imagine what I tell you. I want you to go back to your past. My dear parents, go back to that day when your first child is born. Just go back to that wonderful day when you first became a parent. Look at that day in your mind again. Look at the first day when you saw your child. Relive that experience, friends. Look at the first day when you took your child in your arms. Feel that happiness again. Look at the first day when you first touched your child and kissed your child. Feel those magical moments again. On such wonderful children, friends, look at the mistakes you're doing today, friends. When you do these mistakes, your child may not say much outside. But if your child comes in front of you now, and if your child expresses how hurting it is, look at what your child says. Just imagine your child in front of you now and sharing with you how deeply hurt and how deeply upset they are because of the mistakes you're doing. Just look at what they will tell you. Imagine your children expressing their love on you. Friends, look at the first day your child is born. And on such wonderful children, look at the mistakes you're doing, friends. When you do these mistakes, if your child comes and tells you how much they're getting hurt, look at what they will tell you. Imagine your children expressing their love on you, friends. Please keep your hand on your heart. Every parent, please keep your hand on your heart. Do it genuinely. Keep your hand on your heart. Don't open your eyes. Keep your hand on your heart. And make a promise, friends. Today, make a sincere promise to your child. The promise can be that you'll never do these mistakes again, or it can be anything. Make a very sincere promise to your child. Good. Slowly open your eyes. Open your eyes, please. Friends, I want you to share two things with me. One, among these 10 mistakes we talked today, what is that one mistake that's really hurting you? And two, what is the promise you made to your child now? I repeat again, friends, believe me, I've been doing these sessions for many years now. If you share, you'll feel better, right? Everyone, please type it in the chat. What is that one mistake that's really hurting you? And what is the promise you made to your child? Please type your answers. I want one or two parents. Celso, sir, if you can kindly unmute one or two participants, I want them to share it with all of us. Please raise your hand, parents, if you want to share with us.
Okay, I've unmuted. I've given the permission to unmute yourself now. You can unmute.
My dear parents, believe me, if you share, you'll feel better. So I want at least one or two parents to share, unmute yourself and share what is that one mistake that's really hurting you and what is the promise you made to your children. Parents, please participate. Anyone can talk. What is that one mistake that's really hurting you and what is the promise you made to your child? Anyone, friends? Parents? Okay, anyways, they're more comfortable typing in the chat. I'm okay with that. All right. Thank you, friends, for sharing your answers in the chat at least. Okay, friends. If you understood so far, I have some good news for you, friends. You know, the good news is, no matter how many mistakes you did so far, let me tell you one thing here, friends. Children have one special quality. Do you know this, friends? Our children have got a great quality. You know, the quality is forgive and forget. Do you know this, friends? And that's good news for all the parents sitting here. Friends, no matter how many mistakes you did so far. We don't have time to look at each of your mistakes and the scores, but no matter how many mistakes you did so far, friends, the good news is children have a special quality to forgive and forget. So, my dear friends, irrespective of how many mistakes you did so far, we all still stand a chance to become magical parents starting today. And if you really want to do that, the first thing we'll do starting today is everybody shout and say, love. I can't hear you, but please shout and say, love.
Love.
Love, my friends. The first quality, the first thing we got to do. If you really want to be a magical parent, irrespective of the mistakes you did so far, if you want to bounce back starting today and become a magical parent, the first thing we got to do starting today is love, my friends. Now, love, how many letters does love have? L-O-V-E, 4 letters? No. It's not 4. Please understand this. As a parent, we need to understand this. In the child's mindset, as per child psychology, till the child comes to age 14 or 15, in the child's mindset, love is never a 4-letter word. The only way child understands love is only a 3-letter word, friends. Do you know that? And that word is fun. Seriously, friends. The only way your children understand love is with fun. And here's the good news, friends. For that fun, which is love for them, for that fun, the first point of contact is always a parent for them. Just go back and remember, friends, how many times your children came and said, Dad, let's do this. Mom, let's play this. We are busy, right? We have time for the WhatsApp. We have time for the Facebook. We have time for Instagram. We have time for stupid TV serials, but we don't have time for children. So we say, better you go and play outside. Friends, when they don't get it from us, they look for other sources, friends. That's human tendency. Imagine, I kept my car keys here. I went out. I forgot my car keys. I went out. And then I remembered there are no keys. So what do? I'll come back and take it from here. If I don't find my car keys here, will I go walking? No. I'll search in the other room and the other room and the other room. Agree? When you don't find something in one place, it is a human tendency to search in other places. That's exactly what children do, my friends. When they don't get that fun from you, which is love for them, they start looking for other sources. And unfortunately, those other sources, initially when they're small, those other sources can be chocolates, biscuits, sparks. But as they keep growing, those other places can be dangerous. They can be wrong friends, sex sites, it can be drugs, it can go to any extent today. If you don't want that to happen at your home, the first formula I want you to take home today is 20 minutes fun time. Please make a note of it, my friends. It's 20 minutes fun time. Irrespective of your children's age, you want to bounce back as a magical parent. Rule number 1, take home today is 20 minutes fun time. Now, what is fun time? You go to your son or you go to your daughter and you say, Beta, I have 20 minutes time now. What shall we do? 20 minutes, you're not the boss, you're not the mother, you're not the father. For just 20 minutes, my dear parents, you're just a friend to them. If your son says, let's play cricket, play cricket. If your daughter says, let's play caroms, play caroms. Let's jump on the sofa, jump on the sofa. Let the sofa break, but not the heart. I don't mean that, but fun time is fun time, friends. If your son says, let's play carom board, no rules there. You can't say, hit this, hit that, no. But just 20 minutes, you're just a friend to them, friends. Believe me, if you can take a decision, my dear parents, if you can start giving 20 minutes fun time starting today, for the first time, your children will realize that you're loving them. Let me share a very harsh truth with all of the parents here. My dear parents, do you know this, that your children do not know that you love them? I repeat, your children don't know that you love them. They're assuming it. Your children are assuming that my mom, my dad, they buy me what I want. They hug me sometimes. They say, I love you to me. So maybe they're loving me is what they're assuming. They're not actually experiencing your love, because if they want to experience your love for them is fun. Until you give them that fun time, psychologically, they don't experience your love, my friends. So the first point starting today, 20 minutes fun time. This is one message, WhatsApp message that kept traveling for many years in WhatsApp. I think you know this. This is a message where it seems in one school, one teacher, she asked the children, my dear children, tomorrow when you grow big in life, what do you want to become? Write a para and bring it back. What do you want to become when you grow big? Write a para. I'm sure you read this in WhatsApp. So many came back next day. Some said, I want to be a doctor, police, lawyer, child accountant. they came with answers. But one little girl, she wrote this. The teacher asked her, when you grow big, what do you want to become? What the girl wrote? She said, when I grow big, I want to become a TV. I want to become a TV. Why? Because if I'm a TV, my mom watches me with attention. My dad, even after getting tired, will still have time for me. My brother fights with others to look at me. I'll be the center of attraction. Children that badly, friends, they need your attention, friends. They need your time. 20 minutes fun time. I like this quote which says, your presence is more important than your presence. Please remember, my dear parents, your presence, always your presence is more important than all the presents you give them. So first condition, first rule we take home starting today, take a decision, my dear parents, 20 minutes fun time. The second thing I want you to do is family meal time. I'm sure some of you are doing it already here. If you're doing it, pat yourself. If you're not doing it, start today. Either breakfast or lunch or dinner. Not all three, we are busy, but at least any one meal, please break the bread together at least once every day. It's been psychologically proven that those families who come together at least once and have a good family meal, there is high chances of bonding more powerfully than otherwise. So please make sure you have a one family meal every day. Without the TV. Hello. Without the TV. These days I'm seeing families eating with the TV on. No. When I say family time, it's family meal time, not TV meal time. Yeah. So have a family meal time. So three things we learned so far today. One, reduce shocks. My dear parents, we have learned enough today. So one is reduce shocks. Two is 20 minutes fun time. Three is family meal time. Right? And before we end, the last 2 points left. Friends, this is one Telugu movie again. This movie is called Janata Garage. I don't know if you know this movie, but there's one particular dialogue in this movie which I love the most. In this movie, there's one particular scene where the hero, he says, if your children are good, they will not be much interested in your properties. If your children are bad, the properties you give them will not be sufficient. Do you agree, friends? Just type yes or no in the chat box. I repeat the dialogue again. The hero says in one particular scene, he says, if your children are good, they will not be much interested in your properties. But if your children are bad, the properties we give them will not be sufficient for them. Isn't it, friends? Isn't it? So, frankly speaking, as parents, it is not the properties, friends. Please understand, it's not the land, it's not the flats, it's not the buildings, it's not the bank balance. That is not what we're supposed to give them. If you really want to be a magical parent, there are two things we need to make sure we give our children, and they are right education and great character. Isn't it, friends? As a responsible parent, the two things we need to give them, right education and great character. When it comes to right education, to a large extent, schools and colleges are helping our children, but building a great character is our personal responsibility. As a parent, please make sure you build the right character for your children so that tomorrow, whether you're there, you're not there, they can keep their head held high and go into the future happily. So how to build character? Two simple points. Number one, 10 minutes pause to talk. My dear parents, every night, we know this, every night when your children retire to bed, the last 10 minutes, their subconscious is more active, and we know this. Those 10 minutes, please have some pause to talk with them. Talk to them. Please talk to them. When I in the live seminars, when I ask the parents, please talk to children, some parents, how they talk? Beta, do you like your father more or do you like your mother more? What nonsense is that, friends? When I say talk to them, I mean pause to talk. It can be some inspiring stories, moral lessons. It can be some money lessons. It can be some general knowledge. It can be some puzzles. It can be your own life story as to how many ups and downs you had in life to come to this level. It can be character building, anything. 10 minutes of pause to talk every single night before they sleep. Irrespective of their age, when you sit next to them and talk to them for 10 minutes positively every night when they sleep, you're actually placing one brick every night to build the building of character, right? So, and the last point I want to share today is in building character, there's one thing you can do, my friends, and believe me, you cannot give them a better gift in your life beyond this, and that is make reading a habit. Believe me, parents, you cannot give a better gift to your children beyond this for a lifetime. Please make reading a habit. Parents, Do you know that there are books on this planet? There are books on this planet which can build your child's character. There are books which can make them successful. There are books which can improve their memory. There are books which can make them confident. There are books which can build their leadership. There are books which can make them rich. And we call such books as self-help books. If your child is very small, then the best start is storybooks. If the children are small and they're not used to reading books, the best place to start is storybooks. If the children are very small, they can't read yet, they're very small, then my dear parents, I suggest you strongly, sit next to them and read one story every day. It takes a matter of 5 minutes. Read one story, they will listen. Read it, they listen. Read it, they listen. Once a child comes to the age where the child can read, the child should read and you must listen. Don't give the book, read and don't go from there. No. Sit next to them. They will read it, you listen. Read it, you listen. It becomes a habit. After a few months, reading becomes a habit. Then, my friends, take away the storybooks and replace them with self-help books. I repeat again, friends, there are wonderful books on the planet which can change your child's perspective about life, which can make your child successful. Actually, which can also make you successful. And we call them self-help books. If you want a list of some great books, friends, you can just send a WhatsApp message to me. Just type books. You have my number there. It's 903 000 1012 is my WhatsApp number. Just type a message, books to me. I'll send you a list of some of the best books on the planet which you can benefit and your children can benefit from. Yeah. So to summarize everything we learned so far, so let's quickly recap, friends. But before we recap, there's one last point I want to mention here. Okay, let's recap first. 5 things we learned. 1, reduce shocks. Please shout and say that. I can't hear you, but please shout, friends. Reduce shocks. 2, 20 minutes fun time. Very, very important. Take a decision today, friends. 3, family meal time. I hope you're doing it already. 4, please make reading a habit. You want the best books? Type books to my WhatsApp. And 5, 10 minutes positive talk. And before we finish this session, there's one last example I want to give you. Look at the couple in the slide, friends. I want all the parents to remember this example. Parents, do you know this? When we cross age 60, when all the parents sitting here, when we cross age 60, when we become grandparents actually, yeah, when people meet us, after crossing 60, when people meet you, they will not ask you. Remember this, they will not ask you how many cars you bought, how many buildings you bought, what's your bank balance. They will not ask you that. When you cross 60, people who meet you will ask you only 2 questions, my friends. First question, how is your health? Right? Second question, what are your children doing? Isn't it, friends? But the first question, how is your health? It's your personal responsibility to maintain it. But for the second question, what are your children doing? For that question, if you want to have a smile on your face, you better be a magical parent, friends. So everybody, keep your hand on your heart, please. I can't see you, but participate. Keep your hand on your heart and say, I will be a magical parent. Fantastic. So friends, that finishes our little session today. I hope I added some value to you. I genuinely thank Celso, sir, for making this session happen here. Without he taking the initiative, we would never meet like this. So friends, you can take my phone number. It's 903 000 1012. That's my WhatsApp number. You can just contact me for the books. Yeah, sir, you can type books in my WhatsApp number so that I can send you the list of great books, right? And friends, before we conclude, I'll take one last minute to just let you know that I have other programs. And this is one program called Magical Parenting Basic Level. I also developed a lot of other programs to benefit your children and to benefit you. I'll show you the top 3 signature programs I have. It will not take much time, just give me 1 minute. I also have 3 signature programs, my favorite programs. I think these may also help you. You can think on these lines. The first program, I designed it for children, and I call this the Smart Student. This program teaches how to excel in academics for your children, irrespective of their age group. No matter if the school or college, doesn't matter. How to excel in academics is what the program teaches. The second program I have is called Speak with Power. Now, this is a program that teaches you public speaking skill for you and your children. The third program is my favorite again, the Ultimate Success Formula program. This program teaches you how to achieve a life of fulfillment, right? So friends, now in the first program, Smart Student, your children will learn how to improve your classroom concentration, how to study effectively at home, how to make subjects interesting for them, how to attack exams with a lot of confidence, and how to build a strong, positive mindset is some of the highlights of the program. The second is Speak with Power. They'll be learning how to grab and hold attention of audience, how to build great content for programs, how to overcome fear of speaking, how to speak with power, and the secrets of world's best speakers. And the last one is the ultimate success formula, where you'll be learning how to de-stress and live with ease, how to enhance the quality of living, how to create work-life balance, how to enhance family bonding, and how to build a positive mental attitude. All right. So these are some of the programs. If you want to witness any of these programs, you can just contact me on my WhatsApp number. Yes, sir? Did someone say something? Okay. So friends, you can contact me on my number at 903-000-1012. If you have any questions, anyone otherwise. So thank you once again, Celso sir. It's been a pleasure and a privilege spending time with you this evening. I hope I added some value to you. If I did, kindly also send me your feedback on my WhatsApp, friends. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Over to Celso sir.
Thank you, Satish. It was really a very, very good session. In fact, I would invite some question and answers from the participants, or at least some comments about it, because I've allowed the mics to be unmuted. So anybody who can come under this and just share his comments, it would have been a great learning for us. So anyone, any of the participants?
Mr. Valiveti, thank you so much for enlightening us. I am really touched and I feel very encouraged to be a magical parent here on. Thank you very much. And I know now still with all your points, it's never too late to start. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable feedback.
Thank you, Dr. Nadia. It was really a nice feedback. Anybody else would like to share? You feel really good when you get such feedback.
So before we do it, can we all please switch on your videos? Can I look at you people, please? Everybody switch on your videos. I would love to look at you people. Nice. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Others can give feedback, please.
You can switch on your mic and can give the feedback. We have some time.
Hello, Mr. Valiveti.
Yeah.
Thank you for the wonderful session. So my daughter is 20, but yes, I have learned also. And being a single parent, it has been a lot of responsibility. But yes, I can imagine how it has been standing into two pairs of shoes at the same time and trying to balance everything. But yes, whatever you have mentioned has taken me back to the times wherever I also have made mistakes. And yes, here on I can take care of not repeating the same things again. Thank you so much.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, Alba. Anybody else would like to share his comments? Anybody? It would be great interaction. You can put the camera on, please.
Yeah, can everybody come on, put your videos on, please? We'll take a selfie, please. Everybody's videos on, we'll take a selfie. I mean, selfie, not a screenshot. We'll take a screenshot. Everybody's video on, please. We'll take a screenshot. It'll be a good memory for me.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, repeat again. I'm so thankful to Celso sir for making this session happen today. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. And please be in touch with me on my WhatsApp number so that I can keep sending you valuable tips and suggestions whenever required on parenting and otherwise. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Satish, once again. On behalf of Navemarg Foundation, this was actually a unique privilege for us to host you as a speaker for today's event, and especially on Mother's Day. I'm 100% all the mothers present here must have felt something different today, that they need to give in more of conditional love for the children, and that even for me as a father, I also was a part of it. So it's like a very good learning as far as how to manage the children and how to bring that positive impact out of it. So it was a very, very good learning. In fact, we will try and have the other programs also in the future. Definitely the signature programs, we will do it 100%, because for us, we are having a very good network of our own family. Our Navemarg family is quite a big family now. So we have a lot of participants all across. And for those who want to see the repeat show, it is there on the YouTube channel. It will be there uploaded. It's already uploaded immediately. So if in case you want to watch it again, or you feel that some of your friends have missed out, because we had quite a good participants even on the YouTube live channel, plus as well as on the Zoom channel. So we had on both the sides, we could see the chats going on that side also. It was really quite good on the YouTube also. So what I would suggest is, if in case you feel that some of your parents need to, actually some of your friends who are parents have missed this program, you can forward them the link and they can watch it on YouTube once again. So on behalf of Navemarg Foundation, I would like to once again thank Mr. Satish, plus a special thank you also to the ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, because they have been the sponsors for these last two events, that is the Teachers' Day as well as the Magical Parent session. These are the two sessions which ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund has helped us in this. In fact, we are very, very lucky being in this financial field that we have 44 mutual fund companies who are supporting us for any program that we decide. So we have the financial support. So we are very fortunate to have these programs almost on a weekly basis. And now during the lockdown, this is actually our 42nd program right from April till today. So you won't imagine, on a weekly basis. And these are like, the programs are all related to different. It's not only financial programs, it is health also. Because recently we did a program yesterday, we did on diabetes management. And like this, we have been doing on health, then personality development, as well as on the financial aspect. Of course, our strength is more on the financial side, like how to manage your finances, but also health as well as personal development is always required. And this is how we are giving a value-added services to all our clients who are present all over the world now. We have globally many of them. So this is how the participation, and many of them, even the Magical Teachers program has already crossed more than 300 views.
Oh, fantastic.
On the YouTube. So that is also giving. And so all the people in your videos are definitely going to cross more than 1,000 views. I'm 100% sure of it. So the popularity is quite, the effect is very good. And your thought process and the way of putting it was really effective. And it has really made us understand what is the qualities of a good parent and how to bring out the best in the child. So thank you once again. And I will thank all the participants who have been who participated in the entire program. And I wish you all a very good evening and a very good September month ahead. Thank you. And
before we end, I want to thank ICICI people for taking that initiative to sponsor such programs. Thank you, ICICI.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, parents. Good night, and be in touch on the WhatsApp. I'll see you there. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.